हरे कृष्णा। अभी जो प्रभुपाद प्रवचन देंगे उसका हिंदी अनुवाद भक्तिवेदांत हॉल में होगा। हरे कृष्ण।
जय वंशपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सुतर सदस्यमान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्ति वृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंड की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। नववेद भक्तवृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर सोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर सोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर सोल। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Translation. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent.
Therefore, even though one is human being, he requires education. The animal cannot take education, but a human being can take education. Therefore, Shastra says, Nayana deha deho bhajang niloke kastan kaman arhati virujan. I have separated this birth. And now, in the lower than human being condition, we have to work very hard simply for four necessities of life: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Sense gratification. Main objective is sense gratification. Therefore, everyone has to work very hard. But in the human form of life, Krishna gives us so much facilities, intelligence. We can make our standard of living very comfortable, but with the purpose of attaining perfection in Krishna consciousness. You live comfortably, that's all right, but don't live like animals, simply increasing sense gratification. The human effort is going on how to live comfortably, but they want to live comfortably for sense gratification. That is the mistake of the modern civilization. Yuktahara viharasya yoga bhavati siddhi. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Yuktahara. Yes, you must eat, you must sleep, you must satisfy your senses, you must arrange for defense as much as possible, not to divert attention too much. We have to eat yuktahara, that's a fact, but not utyahara. Rupa Goswami has advised in his Upadesha Amrita, utyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha lulam janasangascha sarabhi bhakti pranasati. If you want to advance in spiritual consciousness, because that is the only objective of life, then you should not eat more, utyahara, or collect more. Utyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha. That is our philosophy. The other day in Paris, one press reporter came to me, socialist. So I informed him that our philosophy is that everything belongs to God. Krishna said, what is that? Bhoktaram jagatavasam sarvarupa maheswaram. I am the enjoyer. Bhokta. Bhokta means enjoyer. So, bhoktaram jagatavasam. Just like this body is working. The whole body is working, everyone's, to enjoy life. But where from the enjoyment begins? The enjoyment begins from the stomach. You have to give sufficient nice food stuff to the stomach. If there is sufficient energy, if you can digest, if sufficient energy, then all other senses become strong. Then you can enjoy sense gratification. Otherwise not possible. If you cannot digest, just like we have now, old men, we cannot digest. There is no question of sense enjoyment. So sense enjoyment begins from the stomach. The luxuriant growth of the tree begins from the root. If there is sufficient water, therefore the trees are called padapa. They drink water from the legs, the roots, not from the heads. It's like we eat from the head. So there are different arrangements. As we can eat from the mouth, the trees can eat from their legs. But one must eat. Ahara vidya bhayamathon. The eating is there. Either you eat through your legs or your mouth or your hands. But so far Krishna is concerned, he can eat from anywhere. He can eat from hands, from legs, from eyes, from ears, anywhere. Because he is complete spiritual. There is no difference between his heads and legs and ears and eyes. That is stated in the Brahma Samhita. Angani jasa sakalindriya vittimanti pasyanti pahanti kalayanti chirang jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujjala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamam. So, as in this body, our sense enjoyment should begin from the stomach. Similarly, as the tree begins developing luxuriantly from the root, similarly, Krishna is the origin of everything. Janmadasya jataha, root. So without Krishna consciousness, without pleasing Krishna, you cannot be happy. This is the system. Therefore, how Krishna will be pleased? Krishna will be pleased that we are all Krishna's son, God's son. Everything Krishna's property. These are facts. Now, we can enjoy taking prasadam of Krishna because he is the proprietor, bhukta, enjoyer. So everything should be given first to Krishna and then you take the prasad. That will make you happy. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhunyante te abhava papam je pachanti atmakaranat. Those who are cooking for eating themselves, they are simply eating scenes. Bhunyante te abhava papam je pachanti jagyarthe karmannatra lokayam karam. Everything should be done for Krishna. Even you are eating anything. All sense enjoyment you can enjoy, but after Krishna is enjoyed, then you can. Therefore Krishna's name is Rishikesh. He is the master. Master of the senses. You cannot enjoy your senses independently. Just like the servant cannot enjoy that the cooking very, very nice food stuff in the kitchen, but he cannot eat in the beginning. That is not possible. Then he will be dismissed. The master first of all must take and then they can enjoy all the nice food stuff. So, Krishna is the master of the senses. The whole world is struggling for sense gratification. Here is the simple philosophy, truth, that first of all let Krishna enjoy. He is the master. And then you enjoy. Tena taktena bhunjita isho manusya. Everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavasam midam sarvam. Everything belongs to Krishna. This is the mistake. Everything belongs to Krishna, but we are thinking everything belongs to me. This is illusion. Aham mameti. Aham mameti. Janasya mohoyam. Aham mameti. This is illusion. Everyone is thinking I am this body, and everything, whatever we find in this world, that is to be enjoyed by me. This is the mistake of civilization. The knowledge is everything belongs to God. I can take only whatever He gives me kindly. Alas, tena taktena punjita. This is not Vaishnava philosophy, this is the fact. Nobody is proprietor. Ishavasam idam. Every Krishna says, I am in that. I am the proprietor. Sarvaluka Maheswaram. Mahaiswaram. Maha means great. We can claim Ishwaram, controller. But Krishna is described as Mahaiswaram, controller of the controller. That is Krishna. Nobody is independently controller. So, therefore Krishna is described Rishikesha. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. And bhakti means to serve Rishikesh by the Rishik. Rishik means senses. Krishna is the master of the senses, and therefore whatever senses I have got, that master is Krishna, proprietor is Krishna. So when our senses are engaged in the satisfaction of the master of the senses, that is called bhakti. This is the definition of bhakti. Devotional side. And when the senses are engaged for sense gratification, not for the master, that is called kama. Kama and prema. Prema means to love Krishna and do everything for satisfaction of Krishna. That is prema, love. And kama means everything done for the satisfaction of my senses. This is the difference. The sense is the medium. Either you do it, satisfy your senses, or you satisfy Krishna's senses. But when you satisfy Krishna's senses, you become perfect. And when you satisfy your senses, you become imperfect, illusion. Because you cannot satisfy your senses. That is not possible. Without Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richat. Therefore, one has to purify the senses. At the present moment, everyone is trying to satisfy his senses. Aham mameti. Janasya mohoyam. Pumsang striyami thuni bhavameta. The whole material world is that there are two living entities, male and female. The male is trying also to satisfy his senses, and the female is also trying to satisfy her senses. Here the so-called love means there is no love. It cannot be man and woman. Nobody is trying to satisfy the other party's senses. Everyone is trying to satisfy his or her senses. A woman is loving a man for satisfying her senses, and the man is loving a woman for satisfying. Therefore, as soon as there is some little disturbance in the sense gratification, divorce. I don't want it. Because the central point is personal sense gratification. But we can make a picture so bottle. Oh, I love you so much, I love you so much. There is no love. It is all karma, lust. In the material world, there cannot be possibility of love. It is not possible. The so-called cheating. Cheating only. I love you. I love you because you are beautiful, it will satisfy my senses. Because you are young, it will satisfy my senses. This is the word. Material world means this. Pumsang striya maithuni bhavameta. The whole basic principle of this material world is sense gratification. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. Kanduanena karayo riva dukkha dukkham. This material world, so-called love, society, friendship, love, everything is depending on that sense gratification. Maithunadi, beginning from sex. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. So, when one becomes free from this maithunadi sukham, he is libered. He is libered. Shami, Gosham. So long one is attached to this maithunadi, sex impulse, he is neither Shami nor Gosham. Shami means when one becomes master of the senses. As Krishna is the master of senses, so when one becomes Krishna conscious, he becomes master of the senses. It is not that senses should be stopped. No, it should be controlled. When I require, I shall use it, otherwise not. That is master of senses. I shall not act impelled by the senses. Senses should act under my direction. There is sun. Therefore, Arjuna is called Guru Krishna. He is master. He is also, when he likes, he is not a coward, but he is compassionate because he is devotee. Because he is devotee of Krishna, anyone who becomes a devotee of Krishna, all the good qualities manifest in his body. Jasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunai tattva samasate sura. All godly qualities. So, Arjuna is also, otherwise how he can become intimate friend of Krishna unless of the same position. Friendship becomes very strong when both the friends on equal level, same age, same education, same prestige, same beauty, the more similarity of position, then the friendship is. They are strong. So Arjuna is also on the same level of Krishna. Just like if somebody becomes a friend of the president, friend of the king or queen, he is not ordinary man. He must be of the same position. Just like the Goswamis. The Goswamis, when they give up their family life, it is described by Srinivasa Acharya. Taktya churnam asesha mandalapati saning sada tucham. Mandalapati, big leaders, Mandalapati. Big leaders, Jamindars, or big man, he was minister who can become his friend unless he is also a very big man. So Rupa Goswami gave up their company. As soon as Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami became acquainted with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately they decided that we shall retire from this ministership and join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help him, to serve him, not to help him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't require any answer. But if we try to associate and try to serve him, then our life becomes successful. Just like Krishna says, Krishna came to preach Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. That was his mission. That these rascals have become a servant of so many things. Society, friendship, love, religion, this, that, so many things. Nationality, community. So these rascals should stop all this nonsense business. Sarvadharman parityajya. Give up all this nonsense. Simply just become surrendered to me. This is religion. Otherwise, how Krishna is advising that Sarvadharman parityajya. You give up all religious system. He came, dharma samasthapanarthaya. He came to re-establish the principles of religion. Now he says, Sarvadharman parityajya. Give up all. That means anything without Krishna consciousness, without God consciousness, they are all cheating religion. They are not religion. Religion means dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The order of the Supreme Lord. If you do not know who is the Supreme Lord, if you do not know what is the order of the Supreme Lord, then where is religion? That is not religion. That may go on in the name of religion, but that is cheating. So, the Bhagavad Gita ends, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. And Bhagavad begins from that point. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavad. Bhagavad begins, dharma projita koitavatra. Now in this Srimad Bhagavatam, all cheating type of religions are rejected. Projita. So there is link. Real religion means to love God. That is real religion. Therefore Bhagavad says, Savai Pumsam Parvo Dharma, Jato Bhakti Radho Khaje. That is first class religion. It doesn't mean that you follow this religion or that religion. You may follow any religion, it doesn't matter. Either Hindu religion or Christian religion or Mohammedan religion, anything you like. But we have to test, just like a student who has passed any examination. Nobody inquires from which college you have passed your examination. You have passed an examination, that's all right. Then we are concerned whether you are graduate, postgraduate, that's all. Nobody inquires from which college, from which country, from which religion you have passed your examination. No. Similarly, nobody should inquire to which religion you belong. One must see whether he has learned this art how to love God. That's all. That is religion. Because here is the religion. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. This is religion. Bhagavad said, dharma projita koitavatra, all not cheating type of religion, is kicked out from this Bhagavatam. Only nirmasarana. Nirmasarana, those who are not envious of God. Why shall I love God? Why shall I worship God? Why shall I accept God? They are all demons. For them only, Srimad Bhagavatam. For them, those who are actually serious to love. Jinatma samprasidati. So, real success of life is that when you learned how to love God, then your heart will be satisfied. Janglabdha chaparang lamang mannate nadikam tata. If you get Krishna or God, Krishna means God. If you have got another name of God, that is also accepted. But God, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Person, when you have got this because we are loving somebody. The loving propensity is there in everyone. But it is misdirected. Therefore, Krishna says, kick out all these loving objects. Try to love me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamaya. In this way, your loving will never be able to satisfy you. Jinatma samprasidat. If you want real satisfaction, then you must love Krishna or God. That is the whole philosophy, Vedic philosophy. And any philosophy you take. Because after all you want satisfaction of yourself, full satisfaction of your mind. That can be only achieved when you love God. Therefore, that religion is first class, which teaches, which trains the candidate how to love God. That is first class. And that love now with a motive. Just like here in this material world, I love you, love me. The background is some motive. Ahituki, apratita, ahituki, no motive. Annavilasita sunnam. All other desires making zero. Zero. That will be taught in the Bhagavad Gita. Annavilasita sunnam. Jnana karma anabritam. People are working, somebody is working for knowledge and somebody is working for sense gratification. This is the material world. This is the material. Somebody is trying to become very big scholar. Knowledge. What is this, what is this, what is this? Not for understanding God, but for having some superfluous knowledge. So this is called jnana. And karma means working day and night for sense gratification. So bhakti is transcendental. Annavilasita sunnam jnana karmad anabritam. Not tinted by all these contamination. Jnana and karma. Therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, jnana kanda, karma kanda, sakoli bisher bhando. Either you are engaged in the activities of karma, or either you are engaged in the activities of speculative knowledge or acquiring knowledge. So this is jnana kanda and karma kanda. So Narottam Das Thakur says that both these jnana kanda and karma kanda are pots of poison. Either you drink this or that. It doesn't matter. Being engaged in karma kanda, jnana kanda, is spoiling his life. What benefit you will derive? Karma kanda, according to karma, you will get a different body. Jnana kanda also, if you actually become very much advanced in knowledge, you can get a body in a Brahmana family, in a very educated family. But I will have to go through the transmigration of the soul, repetition of birth and death. There is risk. I do not know what I am going to get. It is no guarantee. Little mistake, just like Bharat Maharaj, little mistake. At the time of he was thinking of a deer, next life he got the life of a deer. Little mistake. Jang jang bapi smaran loki tajatante kalevaram. Because nature is so perfect, at the time of your death, what is the mental condition, you will get a similar body. Next life. Karmana daimanatrena. Because Daiva, Krishna is with you. Krishna will say, now he is thinking of become a king. Now he is thinking to become a dog. So Krishna immediately gives you. You take the body of a dog, you take the body of a lion, you take the body of a king, take the body. Similarly, if you are thinking of Krishna, take the body of a Krishna immediately. Tattadeham punarjanma naiti mameti kaunteya. This is Krishna consciousness. How to train the mind to die thinking of Krishna. Then your life is successful. Therefore you have to chant Hare Krishna, always think of Krishna. Manmana bhavamadhyakta madhyajima namaskuru. Then your life is perfect. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So, we'll try to ask Sarva Lakshan Prabhu. Prabhuji said till 9:05 we'll complete the questions. So, very beautiful lecture by Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada told about Arjuna's way of renouncing is in some, this renouncement is, okay, give him mic.
Prabhupada was saying that such type of renouncement is an
Rebo. So Arjun, 2 shlokas back, this is 2.9, which Prabhupada has given lecture on. 2.7, Krishna, he surrenders to Krishna. So before that, friendly talking was going on. So what is the problem? Mike.
The friendly talking doesn't brings any solution to any serious problem.
Rebo. It cannot decide any serious question. Yeah. That should be spoken between authorities. Then Prabhupada talked about Rishikesh and Gudakesh. So Rishikesh means the controller of senses, Gudakesh means who has conquered ignorance. What is the duty of a guru?
to enlighten his disciple.
Rebo. So then Prabhupada said that we are born foolish. But there is a difference between animals and human beings. What is the difference between animal and human?
Human beings can be educated, but animals cannot. So human being can be educated, he can gain knowledge.
Rebo. The animal cannot take education, a human being can take education. Yeah. So nayam deho deh bhajam niloke. No? So one should not just work hard for sense gratification. So what is the mistake of modern civilization?
Prabhuji, they are trying to satisfy their own senses instead of satisfying Krishna.
Okay, that comes a little later, but here there is another mistake. Yeah, you're right, but there. Devotees should not see notes, huh?
They want to live comfortably for sense gratification.
Sorry?
They want to live comfortably for his own sense gratification, not serving Krishna.
Something little different. You're on the point, but not fully on the point. No. Actually, Prabhupada is saying some point about what animals are doing, we are doing. So, is sense gratification? Yes, Prabhu.
Like animal, eating, mating, sleeping, defending. 4 things the animal also do, and they live whole life for that only, sense enjoyment. But if human is also living for that same thing, then it is. That is what modern education is trying to do, focusing on only sense gratification.
Okay, just to move forward. Basically, Prabhupada is talking, what you are saying is right only. Prabhupada is saying you can live comfortably. That's all right. But don't live like animals, simply increasing sense gratification. Rebo. आप सबके लिए हरिबोल. So Prabhupada says yuktahar is okay, but atyahar is not okay. Now we'll go fast. So Prabhupada talked about bhoktaram yagatapasam. So Krishna is the enjoyer, and then he gave some analogy. What analogy he gave? Yes, Prabhu. Mic off na kariye. Please don't switch off mic.
A servant is cooking food in the kitchen, so he can't enjoy until he's offer it to his master.
Okay, yeah, that was later. Yes, thank you. That is also one. So Prabhupada told about servant master. So Krishna is Rishikesh and okay, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Any other one? What other analogy he gave? Okay, you.
Prabhupada told that luxurious fruits begins from root, one analogy, and another analogy that sense enjoyment begins from stomach. So these two analogies.
Yes. Hari Bol. So for our body, stomach is the source, the first person who enjoys. And for the roots, for the tree, from the roots, padapa. But when we talk the creation, Krishna is the origin of everything. So first, who should be satisfied?
Krishna.
Krishna should be satisfied. We can enjoy food, but first we should satisfy Krishna. Otherwise, we are simply eating sin. Bhunjate te agam papam. And then Prabhupada talked about Ishavasyam idam sarvam. So everything belongs to Krishna. But what is the philosophy that people are following here? What is the problem? What is the illusion? New.
Everyone is thinking like everything belongs to me.
Two words, very important Sanskrit words.
Aham mameti.
Hari Bol. Aham mameti. So I am this body, and whatever you find in this world, this is to be enjoyed by me. This is the mistake of civilization. Actually, everything belongs to God. Okay, so we are all controllers or not? We are controllers. But Krishna, what is the difference between our control and Krishna control?
Krishna is known
One
as
word was used.
Maha Ishvara. Maha means great and controller. He's controller of all controllers.
And we are?
We are tiny controllers. We are not independent controllers.
Hari Bol. So Rishik, all the senses should be used for the master of the senses, his pleasure. So what is the difference between prema and kama? Okay, here.
Prema means to satisfy Krishna's senses, and Kama means to satisfy our own senses.
Hari Bol. So right now from kama to prema we have to purify our senses. So but what is the plan people are having of love here? Prema. They think something is love, but it is not love. So how Prabhupada proved that? Some new hand. Okay.
Here love, people are loving because they are, if a man is loving woman because he is getting satisfied from her, that's why he is loving, and the woman is loving man because seeing some beauty or something, a woman is getting some pleasure, that's why she is loving her. So ultimately they are satisfying their own senses, so that is not love, it is lust, like the Prabhupada told.
Hari Bol. There is no love. It is all kama, lust. In the material world, there cannot be possibility of love. It is impossible. This is not possible. It's cheating. I love you because you are beautiful. It will satisfy my senses. Because you are young, it will satisfy my senses. Then Prabhupada talked about Yan Maithun Adi. So it begins from Maithun, sex. The sex desire is there. And Goswami means one who has conquered this sex desire. But it is not meaning that stopping the senses, but using it for Krishna. And then he says Gudakesh, Arjuna is Gudakesh. That is why he is Gudakesh also, same thing. And he tells that Krishna, he is actually on the same level as Krishna, friendship. Then Prabhupada was telling about the 6 Goswamis are helping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please comment. Okay, here.
6 Goswamis, they are helping. They are not helping. They are serving, because no one can help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is not need anyone's help.
Hari Bol. First Prabhupada said we shall retire from Rupa Goswami and all the Sanatana Goswami thought. We shall retire from this ministership and join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help him. To serve him, not to help him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not require anyone's help. But if we try to associate and try to serve him, then our life becomes successful. So we should renounce in this mood. And then Prabhupada was talking about Sarva Dharman Pratyajya. This is the real religion, not all the other cheating religions. So how Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of Bhagavatam, he shared by certain practical understanding of the verse flows. Okay, someone who has not answered. You have not answered, Prabhu? Yes. You had answered?
First question.
Oh, answered. Then there, fear. And Prabhu also answered.
So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharam Raja. So he's telling about giving up all the other dharma. And then Bhagavatam begins with dharma projati kaitava. So all the cheating religion should be kicked out.
Yes.
So only the religion which teaches love of God.
Rivo. So because the time is already over, I'll just quickly wind up by sharing what has been told. So Prabhupada talked about the test is MA examination. MA examination test is the clearance test, not which college, which country, which religion. Similarly, no one should inquire to which religion you belong. One must see whether he has learned this art, how to love God. That is religion. Powerful, no? And then, so all cheating types of religions should be kicked out. No? So the loving propensity should be only for Krishna and kick out all other loving objects. That is Sarva Dharman Pratyajya Mamekam Shriram Vaja. And that should be of what quality? No other material motive. No? Anyabhilashita Shunyam. And Jnana and Karma also should be Anavritam. There should be no superfluous knowledge. It should be for understanding God and not work hard for sense gratification. So Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda are Vishera Bhanda, because we get new bodies. It's a very dangerous proposal. So better think of Krishna, then you will get a Krishna-like body, you will get a spiritual body. Tyaktva deham punarjanama naiti mamiti soja. So what is this Krishna conscious movement? What is this Krishna conscious movement? How to? Okay, last question. What is this Krishna conscious movement? Okay, here.
How to die remembering Krishna.
Rivo. How to train the mind to die thinking of Krishna. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.